Okay, you definitely didn't have VHS during the medieval days. An investigation of the themes and morality behind unchecked scientific advances per se and...
Oh God, I've turned into that irritating nephew of mine. He can't shut up. Always has to comment on everything. He's a smug little so-and-so. Or, more accurately, I'm currently a smug little so-and-so.
Got a plan of attack?
I'm going to start on the variants and move on to the consumer stuff once he's on the ropes.
Not two on the ropes. We still have to have the button pressed, Adrian.
Not if he chooses.
Oh well, at least we're in a
The
new
only
place
one who can
now.
stop the experiment is Magnus.
Very
And
interesting.
what will we fill the rest of the
Tell me
button
about
with
it.
tonight?
That's Kenneth's problem. He'll think of something. He's nothing if not creative.
Well,
Yes,
I'd like to
I
keep
am.
his creativity away from my employment contract, if that's okay.
When you hire Adrian Atkinson Blimey, you know what you're getting.
It's a popular science piece.
And what you're getting is a skilled dissection.
Adrian, this is not incisors.
Certainly looks like incisors. I mean, this is the incisors studio, isn't it? And oh yes, this is definitely my background. Look, it's got incisors written on it. Oh, and there's my face.
You
Yep.
are dreadful at sarcasm.
But excellent at journalism.
10 seconds, everybody. You can bark, but you can't bite.
Keep it smart, everyone.
In 5, 4, 3.
Where am I anyway?
Good evening. Tonight on Channel 1, we'll be dedicating most of the
Oh, it's
stage to
Adrian.
an innovative experiment.
A totally different guy.
Dr. Charles Magnus and his sagacious collective claim their Euphoria device, this contraption you see right here, will make all of us more convivial, including you. Is that credible?
No.
Or even ethical?
No.
Tonight, with the help of you, our discerning viewers, we are all going to find out. I'm Adrian Atkinson Blimey, your host for an evening of experimental harmonic science.
That's about 40 seconds back. Can we get the guests in?
I hope we will get some useful information again.
This, Joe.
Smart woman.
5 degrees, 2 homicides.
I know, I interviewed her lawyer, remember?
Oh yeah, I forget.
Clearly wrong.
You're a
Don't
strange
be
man, Colin.
stupid.
You're not the first to say that, Mr. Blimey.
Good evening. Nice to meet
She
you.
said not to talk to him, remember?
Who?
Scary.
Focus, Winston.
All ladies are scary to you.
10 seconds.
She said that he doesn't like to speak to guests before interviews because it
Going
puts us
in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, this singular machine will be activated, marking the inaugural investigation into emotional resonance. But before we switch it on, let's dig our teeth in.
Okay.
Dr. Charles Magnus, you are the head of the self-styled Happiness Collective, and the
Please
inventor of
give
this
us more
fascinating
useful
endeavor.
stuff.
Yes, that's correct. Good evening. And this is my assistant.
Chester Mims, 24. It says here that your favorite numbers are 5 minus 800 and the square root of minus 1.
Yes, that's right.
If I understand it correctly, gentlemen, and I should imagine that I do, your device's
Wait, this is
frequency
them-
should
No,
raise
it's
the
always that long. Okay.
vibrational state of all conscious life until we attain a frequency that your experiments have demonstrated represents happiness.
Yes, that's right.
That's the theorized outcome.
But of course, it's not just felicitousness, is it? Other
Nope.
frequencies could also be targeted by the same technology.
Well, yes, theoretically, but why would you want to do that?
Maybe that's a question for someone else?
I'm not an ethicist.
I am.
Mr. Mims, this device is rather large and cumbersome, and what we see here is only part of it, I believe, as the relay has had to be hardwired into the power conduits in our broadcast room. Am I correct?
At great expense.
Well, of course,
Yep.
this is the first iteration. Let's not forget that the earliest computers required huge rooms to house them. And over time, they've become able to fit on just a moderately large desk. We'd imagine that in the future, further iterations would be much more portable and personal use.
Yes, we can perceive a world where people can choose to alter their emotions whenever they want and whatever they want to feel.
Okay.
Domestic devices? Emanating on a room.
Do they have
size?
pills for that?
Yes, at first, yes. Eventually portable, perhaps even pocket size. I mean, just imagine the possibilities.
Yes, I am. I'm thinking of the possibility of inviting a female guest back to my emotionally controlled room and setting my home device to induce lust in her.
Get him, Adrian.
Of the rebellious teenager who
playing
takes
around.
his to school set for anger. The offices set for fear, compliance.
Why would
That's a great
anybody in their
idea.
right mind want to do that?
He makes a good
Why
point,
does
though.
humanity do any of its evil?
Again,
He makes a very good
I'm
point.
not an ethicist.
Makes people happier.
For now.
Whilst I respect your line of questioning, Adrian, I have to confess, well, I'm feeling somewhat ambushed.
I'm afraid that your confession will have to wait, Dr. Magnus, because I'm going live now to Advance Headquarters to speak to the nominal leaders of our fragile coalition government. Are you receiving me, Prime Ministers?
Loud and clear, Adrian. What an exciting evening. When we formed a coalition, one of the first pieces of common ground we planted our mutual flags on was the importance of supporting our
Where is
science
that
and
other guy?
technology industries.
After all, what's
That
the
cool
point of
guy.
Superior education.
Well, what's his name again?
Education we're providing if there's no jobs at the other end of
The
it.
guy from Bits of
Dr.
Your
Magnus
Life.
and his team impressed us with the simple, well-intentioned nature
Donaldson?
of their project.
No, that's the
Everyone
reporter.
happier. How could we not fund that? It is, after all, one of the 4 basic requirements of a government.
And all this experimental technology was funded by the government.
Well, yes. I mean, we've invested record
Peter
sums
Clement.
funding the science.
I should have known that. I'm Peter.
Resultant technology.
Oh well. It's
But
okay.
Not us, Adrian. The public own this incredible technology.
But seriously, where is
It
he?
was, after all, their taxes that paid for it.
But the public don't have the capacity to alter the device, do they? Or to make other devices?
Well, what sort of other devices?
That's an excellent question. Let's chew on it for a while. In
Yeah.
1880, the
He
residents
sounds
of the
funny.
city of Strosnov in southern Skonsk experienced what was known as the dancing plague.
Fascinating.
People began spontaneously dancing and they didn't stop for days. It was infectious. More and more people joined in. They literally danced themselves to death.
You're making that up. I mean, surely he's making that up. Hmm?
You can look it up in an encyclopedia after the show, Prime Minister. I'm suggesting that if one amplifies this device sufficiently, it becomes a weapon, does it not?
What, make the enemy dance themselves to death? Well, that's hardly an effective military strategy, Adrian.
Or with a few garble adjustments.
Actually,
surely
it's
it could
pretty
send an
useful.
enemy encampment mad with rage or suicidal with despair.
We have no such plans. Nor would Dr. Magnus and his team sanction such.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
Think of it. At the flick of a switch, demonstrators are calmed, protesters pacified.
We would never use such a device on the general population.
And what of the commonality? In a society where this technology is commonplace, how would a citizen know whether the emotions they were feeling from minute to minute were even their own?
Yeah, where's your science now, bitch?
That's a good question, actually.
Insightful question.
Things I
as always,
myself never
Adrian.
even thought about.
Tonight is about an attempt to make people happier. And, well, we're here just to wish you all the very best of luck.
Back to you in the studio.
The Prime Minister's there.
Pricks.
And
Yep.
of course, without the funding that you receive.
We'd still be making mice grin a bit.
If I might say something,
Of course, Doctor, this program thrives on the free exchange of ideas.
I have a colleague who works in one of the more esoteric departments in the collective, and
Oh, was it her?
Stand
don't know
by,
what
stand
you're
by.
talking about,
Oh,
Chester.
you know Dr. Magnus, Professor.
Ha 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 ha! Chester does like to fantasize.
Yes.
Anyway, this unnamed professor and I were, by pure coincidence, discussing the dancing plague of 1518, and she reliably assures
already
me
got that one. I
that
mean,
the Blissgate
other than being with
Secretary
me,
will
there's
negate
really no
any
reason to be
concerns
here.
about such events.
But that is untested.
I can assure you that the T-tests are absolutely
Well, at least that's one
magnificent
finished.
results. And besides,
Just 3 more ladies to
if
go.
you discovered any negative
If there
effects,
are
you
3
simply
more.
Turn the device off. It's not permanent, Adrian.
For all I know, there may be a 4th one somewhere.
Mr. Blimey, I always thought that you were a man of intellect, a ruthless campaigner of precision and truth.
I am all
You're a grumpy old man who can't see the good in anything.
Manners, Chester.
No, I'm sorry, Dr. Magnus, but I'm really quite upset.
Well, I can see that. You're practically apoplectic.
Yes, I am. All you want is a little bit of happiness for a short amount of time. And you're a good man, Dr. Magnus. I know that. And if she can't give it to you, then I'll give it to you instead.
But is the human animal responsible enough for this type of technology? Do we have the
shut up,
perfect
Adrian!
Well, you got the honorific, which means we're done here, I think. Shame. It's been a pleasure to be in such a well-rounded body. Guess this is goodbye. You seem lovely, if a bit scruffy.
Well, I have to say it was interesting. Oh well, if I see a repeat, I might as well push the button, so let's go. I've been living in a paradise. Do. Yep, this is the Christian. And if there's...
We're back. I've been this handsome bloke before. This is the Chris verse. Just look at that notepad, ungendered Chris. It's all gonna play out the same way again, you know.
I know. Wait, is it gonna... Nah. Do. I'm just going to figure out how I have to go to everywhere. It would be nice if I didn't have to wait so long. Okay, we're in a new place. Okay, apparently we're in hell now. Yep, we're in hell.
I've told you 1,000 times,
Because
Chester,
it's a happy day in hell. My body's Sir
reflecting
Pinches,
entities
he would
displayed
love
under
this
my left
place.
arm. The date
Look,
my
all these
predestined
demons
match
with their
was
scary
fixed by my best
face.
friend, the age my pet
Do.
Walter was, when I was forced to eat it. The number of
Yes,
times
we
I've
are
consumed the
in
darkness, and the
hell.
exact position of the celestial bodies when I first felt its dark touch. I honestly don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
Not gonna lie, it feels kind of creepy.
Please, High Priest Magnus.
All right.
We'll be with you shortly.
I forgot to
Not
focus.
You.
Yeah, shut up, Bozeman.
I don't like the way it's been looking at me lately. Isn't it possible for me to sit here?
No, definitely not. Honestly, you think too highly of yourself, Chester. You're not chosen. You'll be fine. Now go and wait over there.
Although now I got a better grip of this whole,
Be respectful in its presence, please, Colin.
Now I got a better idea of how I am supposed to travel dimensions.
It's different, though.
What's different?
My clothing choices, if you ask my mother.
I have to say I do like this DLC
Jeremy, this is Dr. Magnus.
better now.
Somewhere too.
Doctor, pleased to meet you. I'm afraid you may find me a little skeptical, though.
I also like this part better than the first part.
Sorry, I'm late.
You know, those 10 parts I have to upload. So there's like 3 more before we can get to this part, but it will be worth it.
Going in 5.
Although it's kind of weird to reference to past episodes. 2, 1.
Good evening. This one is Jeremy Donaldson.
And this one is Megan Wolf. It's the 3rd blood moon in the year of the Severed Heart, and this is an Ancient One special event hosted by your arcane and occult news team.
In an ancient tower, concealed in the hallowed forest of Tittlewood, High Priest Dr. Charles Magnus and his appropriately named unworthy congregation have been working on a grand act of devotion.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country, which, as we all know, provides a dramatic and positive increase in taste for it that devours.
We'll be in and out of the schedule throughout the evening, with our eager team of supplicants standing by up and down its blessed stalking grounds. They'll report live.
Interesting music.
The has brought a smile to their faces, and then later we'll find out if it's brought flavour to their veins.
We'll have sacrificial offerings from the worlds of science, religion, and entertainment, and of course those all-important flavour results.
So don't move that far, and as always,
appease the great ancient.
Windu onto the feast. Not bad. A bit sour, perhaps. I think I've preferred someone sweeter. The bones have a pleasant crunch to them. Bring me more. Are you okay, Boseman? There is no greater gift come unto the... I hate that I can't read it. Let it feed. 4, 2, 1.
Welcome back. In just a few swishes of its mighty barbed tentacles, this resplendent machine behind me...
Actually, Miss Wolf, I think it might be best if we conducted the experiment sooner rather than later, all things considered.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, I was still on script. Maybe just a couple of quick introductory chats, though, to set the scene. You are Doctor and High Priest Charles Magnus.
Yes, I suppose so.
Please explain to our undeserving
This sure is one of the most interesting places to end up in.
As we all know, we are but...
Then again, I went to heaven before, so yeah.
However, a few years ago, through a series of carefully conducted rituals, we gleaned that it has always found displeasure in our taste. It's a bit off, apparently. Well, according to our expert divinations, the beast is not content with our flavor. It's because of the soul-crushing fear we experience as it approaches at impossible angles from a darkening sky. Makes us taste a bit tart.
Even the sacrifice.
Yes. Our research
Tart. That is the word. Tart. Tart is the word. Don't you know about the tart? Everybody knows that the tart is the word.
Difficult situation for the Undying One. After all, as we all know from the texts, its mere presence shall cause the blood to chill, and its touch brings forth the cold revulsion of disease and decay.
I can see how it might be hard to maintain a smile under those circumstances.
And it does like to play with its food, rather. An arm here, a leg there. As divine privileges go, it can be a bit traumatic.
I see. So, it wants us to go to our deaths happy and with a smile, does it? Ignore that pesky survival instinct of ours.
Oh, those pesky humans.
Well, that seems entirely How do we accomplish it?
Well, once I activate the Euphoria device, we will all be able to remain joyful and at peace, even as we watch our families devoured before meeting our own inevitable fate. We can meet our horrifically visceral ends without complaint or fear. In short, we will finally taste lovely. Thus ensuring the unspeakable horror will have a bountiful food supply for millennia to come, which I think we can all agree is the ultimate goal.
Can't get no argument from me.
Well then, without any further ado at all whatsoever, let's do this thing. High Priest Magnus, bestow upon us your mighty gift of blissful ignorance.
Yeah. I'm taking a little break and I'll be back right soon. Luckily I can edit these things, so you should have no problem with it. I'll be back soon. I am back. Well, let's try a different combination right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just doing the easy way. Bye-bye, creepy eye looking at me. And bye-bye, creepy bozeman. Now please send me to something more useful.
That's a